Do you want to know what kind of world we're living in right now? A world where I'm actually scared to tell people I'm planning on homeschooling my kids and raising them with biblical values, because I know there are psychos out there who think that makes me an unfit parent. That's where we're at. If you think I'm exaggerating, it's already happened. And if you need more proof, go look at what happened to Ethan from H3H3. He mentioned his kid was sick. He mentioned that his dog was having accidents, and suddenly people were online saying he was letting his kids roll around in dog crap. While on stream, these people literally Googled the illness, saw feces exposure listed as one of the possible ways to contract it, and ran with it as proof of child abuse. Or that Dean guy that encouraged his followers to dox a father he was debating because he didn't actually listen to what he said. He only heard what he wanted to. He sets these traps for people with the most ridiculous hypothetical situations that could never actually happen. This guy didn't even fall for the trap. Dean just heard what he wanted to and ran with it. This is the world we live in, where idiots who don't even have kids think they're qualified to judge how you raise yours. And worse, they weaponize systems like Child Protective Services against parents they don't agree with. They couldn't care less about the kids and what happens to them. They want to punish you for not agreeing with them, because you're not parenting the way they would, even though they have zero experience doing it themselves. I can say with experience that having someone call CAS on you, knowing that some faceless bureaucrat has the power to tear your family apart based on a rumor, it's one of the most humiliating, rage-inducing, gut-wrenching experiences a parent can go through. You feel exposed, judged, like you're a criminal for just raising your own children. Because even once they've cleared you, even once they say, like, yeah, everything looks fine, the damage is already done. You were treated like a criminal, like your child was some neglected, malnourished animal because someone who's never raised a child thinks they're qualified to make that call. And all it takes is one person, one busybody, one concerned citizen who doesn't like the way you think, talk, or live. And this is nothing against Children's Aid. I respect them and what they do 100%. I just think there should be a better system when it comes to taking complaints seriously and then documenting fake accusations. I think in order to fix the issue with people being so comfortable making false accusations, there should be jail time, or at the very least, like a huge ass fine you pay when you knowingly make a false claim against somebody. It pisses me off that I even hesitate before I tell someone that I plan on teaching my kids the Bible and not shipping them off to a school system that pushes values we don't believe in. That should be my right as a parent. And if you think that makes me a threat to my kids, you're the one who needs to sit down and take a long, hard look at yourself. Because the truth is, people like me are raising strong, thoughtful, kind kids, while the loudest critics, they're online playing detective with Google and Reddit, ruining lives over assumptions and fake outrage. It's time to grow up.
He lets his dogs shit all over his mansion, and he just leaves the shit on the floor, something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him for a number of different reasons. So I would assume he doesn't actually have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit, and he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog, and God forbid, I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if they eat it, or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something, but they contracted a parasite that I had previously never heard of in my life called Giardia from the dog that is all over his house.
Dude, how is it that like maybe once a week I look into what Ethan Klein's been up to, and every time I manage to find more and more terrible shit. This is where Ethan tells a story about his family getting Giardia.
We already have Mold Mondays. Now we have Saturdays.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses, it's very, very, very dangerous when infants get the same sicknesses that adults get. There are lots of things that you can get as an adult. You're totally fine. You'll be A-okay. No problem. A child, a small infant that has no immune system, shouldn't be catching
at this
anything.
point, as he continues, notice the chat is almost in complete universal agreement. Call CPS. Call child endangerment. CPS, social services. Bro needs to unironically call CPS. That's child endangerment. Okay, if his kids have Giardia, they need to be taken away. Actual worst father ever, etc., etc. I'll let the chat play for you, but you can see just how crazed this community is. And once again, this is Denham's chat from the 1st. The call came on the 3rd.
No wonder his house is covered in dog. And his neglected children raised by nannies have contracted parasites previously unknown to science from the feces. I wonder why he skipped over all of this, because everything that he said, everything that I said in this story, which by the way was apparently compiled by his crew, playing.
No wonder this mother is always sick. Yeah, it all makes
That was wrong.
Okay,
I just said that the kid doesn't get to make the decision.
What's your name?
I would never put them in that situation.
Okay, what's your name?
And why are you trying to dox people, dude? That's weird.
Because I want to find who you are so I could call CPS and have them take your child away from you.
Oh, I'm sure you would like to try to do that.
Yes, I would. So
They would never even do it. That's the best part.
Okay, what's your
Because
name?
I would take the part, and I have a witness sitting here who's heard me say I would never put my child in that situation.
Okay, so what's your name?
But don't worry, move the goalpost too, by the way.
So you said that you think that parents have every right to exploit and traffic their children. So
No, that's not what I said.
So I'm not going to debate it with you. That is what you said. So I just putting this out there for anybody. Feel free to take his profile picture. Maybe you could go on TikTok.com/his handle. You could save his profile picture, run it through some reverse image search. Maybe it will link back to a Facebook or something where you could find his name. And if you do find said information, that's public by the way.
You're more than welcome
Feel
to.
free
Nothing
feel
wrong
free
with
to
what I
take that
said.
information and report it to CPS